So does that mean we're now going into our next match between Josh
Yes.
and Zacki?
But before that, I think cool. Thanks Sloth for casting the username program match.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
It's good having you.
Thank you. Sloth.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
There's my
Puppy.
replacement.
And there's your ride.
Goodbye.
Yeah, appreciate you casting, man.
Bye.
Bye, users.
Love you.
Bye.
He didn't say it.
Shout out to Sloth. Get some Sloth love in the chat. So we will be getting Josh and
Why are you getting
Zacki
bullied
ready.
by your girlfriend, Tux?
That ain't my girlfriend. That's just a street hoe.
Goodness.
You guys can't hear that, but Nykan is nowhere near his computer, and I still heard him laugh. Like Nykan is up, walking around, doing something.
I think you said he was off to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You've got this man laughing while pissing.
He's always got time for Squad W.
All right.
You can hear him from so far away.
You guys can't hear
All
this,
right.
but we can just hear Nykan laughing in the distance, like 3 rooms away in his house.
Nah, he's got that Swedish-sized house.
How many of those song things are you doing, or was that the only one?
That was the
That's
only one.
unfortunately.
Alright.
We have a show match at the end of the day. It's kind of a little fun activity.
It's been like to have fun here.
Well, depends on what your definition of fun is. Some people ain't gonna find it fun, but
I think it's worth mentioning.
Welcome
Thanks,
back,
Zacki.
Nykan.
It's worth mentioning Josh is up in this match, and he has about 20 minutes ago just beaten the world record on Nemesis,
And it's also just
and
appeared
it's
in
in the map
pool.
pool.
Oh wait.
So
Oh yeah.
I've got
Uh-oh.
a feeling that Zacki is going to ban that first.
Unless he
It'd be a
doesn't know.
smart decision. I would
Unless he
hope that
doesn't know.
Zacki knows.
He might lack
Yeah.
critical information.
I want
Let's see.
Zacki to pick Tronic just to see the shit show that would happen.
But Zacki's map is also in, and he bans RST. He doesn't even ban Nemesis.
Oh
That's interesting.
no.
He doesn't know.
He lacks critical information.
Chat,
maybe
you know what it
no.
is?
No, I think Zacki is top on Nemesis, and he thinks he might have a better chance of beating Josh on Nemesis than RST.
Oh no,
Interesting.
no.
So Josh bans Tronic.
Also, Nykan, we don't have the ban screen up.
And
There
Josh
we
didn't
go.
even pick. Josh didn't even pick Nemesis. He's picked
But I
Andromeda.
hate them both. What are they doing?
This is confusing. Why has he not picked the map?
I mean,
just
nah,
WR?
that map's. He's probably realised from just WRing how hard that map is to run.
Yeah.
He, like,
Because
can't
that
do
map-
it.
That
Can't do
end
it in
skip
10
is
minutes.
awful. Yeah.
I guess that's
Fish is-
understandable then.
Fish is in chat saying Nemesis is very hard to finish.
It's very,
Extremely.
very hard.
It has like a bit of a noob friendly skip at the end, but you kind of have to do for it's not even noob friendly. It's kind of just luck based. It's a very
Yeah.
precise angle.
Zacki's collabing with Josh, asking if they should go to a map. They're now just straight up discussing which ones they want to do. You like it when
Match fixing.
you match
Finally,
fix.
some picks and bans that make sense.
It's almost like the Euros.
Ball resident sleepers. is
You winning that tomorrow, mate?
Of course. According to the whole world, we've paid the ref already, so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, as Zacki's saying, so it's going to be interesting because both players are rank 1 and 2 on the map.
Zor is also hard to hit faster. Oh wait, this is a really good map pool, honestly.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
This suits them both.
Yeah, they've both gone and like removed the maps that have awkward, more techy parts, and they've just gone for straight up just units maps. Also, there's now a poll up. if you want to vote on who you think might win.
I'll go EU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Already
forgot.
got 10
different
from
Do
stuff.
you perhaps want to stream for me, Louis? Because I kind
Sure.
of had no idea what was going on with Pro's that last match.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll stream in Discord.
I'm streaming Zacki's.
Thank you.
Oh, I need to. Yeah.
Wait, I think I just left and joined the same server.
Nice. So we got Josh ready up.
Yep.
I'll get you to do the timer, Caff, when ready, if Nykan's ready.
Yeah. Waiting on Zacki.
There we go.
Yeah,
He
chat
says,
off.
thank God I got good maps. So he's happy with the map pool.
Absolutely
Alright.
are. He's so confident.
Alright, gonna get into
Josh
match
already
5.
practicing. This is going to be interesting because there's two players both on like their strong suits. Whereas in
Yeah,
the previous
so-
ones, we've seen people on like maps that they're maybe not so confident with.
So Josh has a slightly better time than Zacki. Josh has a plus 0.17 time, while Zacki has a plus 0.32 time.
Zacki opting to not turn bind the third ramp on this map. There's a strat that the top surfers have been doing on this map recently where if you use the built-in turn bind system to have the same yaw speed as the curve of the ramp, you can like robotically turn that curve, and it's really OP.
How did people just like test until they figured out what the yaw speed was too?
I think the yaw speed
hold it
is
down.
38.
38.
Yep. That's how
I could
strict
be wrong, but
What?
it doesn't look like Josh's either.
What
I know
nerd
that-
just sat down and figured out the exact amount?
Holy, little Holy. He was the first one to turn bind it, if I recall.
Didn't he do the same on Pantheon, I believe?
Yeah, it's really OP.
Yeah,
Josh
Yeah,
has
so-
got a solid rundown already.
yeah.
1 minute in. That's already
Worth
tough
noting
time
though,
to beat.
Zacki's PR is about 0.12 quicker than that, so it's doable. It's doable.
And Zacki's PR is from 5 days ago, and Josh's is from June 25th. So his is probably around about the start of. That was around about when the maps were released, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Zacki gonna come in with just a finish, I guess. Get the nerves unpacked.
We saw the
Another
same
360.
little calf shout out there, maybe.
I don't know, man. You seem to be doing some styling yourself these days.
What you're in relation
True.
to surf? I think it's how many degrees per second you spin when you hold it.
And if you have
Pretty sure
the
that's right.
exact same amount as the curve of the ramp, then literally all you have to do is
Yeah.
hold down the button and you just turn with it. Ooh. Zacki sniping the end, although still not having enough units to get a fast enough time.
Still improvement on his ult completion.
Very true. If he keeps this up, he'll be at Josh's time in no time.
Josh kind of owning though, not gonna lie. His CP1s are much better than Zacki's right now.
I mean, Josh is heavily favoured for this match on all the maps because he is seeded rank 2 in the tourney. Which is understandable. He is a very consistent and just top tier player, considering he's also just WR'd half an hour ago on a different map before coming into this.
Josh is definitely one of the favourites to win the whole tournament.
Definitely. I think some people are wanting to see an
Josh
upset.
Levi final.
Yeah.
I think the most popular, looking at the challenge links, was Josh and Levi doing the best.
You.
Or I
Hey,
think
man, I
you look
saw
at who's
some-
giving Levi the most trouble in the past on maps, probably Josh, in
Yeah.
terms of like just battling PWRs.
Well, we saw in the
Speaking of
previous
Josh.
tourney. Oh,
He's on a run, and it's a good one.
It's a very good one.
who
Very
ate?
good
And
run.
Actually
Zacki,
cruising.
Zacki
That's-
improves right at the same time, but now he's just instantly seeing a bigger gap.
Yeah.
Like it's
and
quicker
that
than
is already
Zacky's PR as
faster.
well.
Yeah,
That's
he's
the-
faster.
All faster.
That's rank 9 and 10 because they're tied. So he's literally just got a top 10 time.
Zacky's not doing bad though. He's getting a lot better runs.
He can do this. It's
Yeah,
not.
he
It's not
definitely can.
out of the question.
And this is Josh.
We just need some. We need some Zacky love in the chat.
What's the
Zacki needs your help.
spams to help Zacki?
As I
Yeah,
see that, I
Josh-
just see a USA spam.
That rhymes with Zacki. We're fine.
Josh got a fast end here.
Like the
Oh, but yeah, Pierce
consistency
opened.
that he's showing is crazy.
Josh is getting units that we weren't seeing in username and Program. Like he's like 50 units up towards the end of the map, maybe even 100 up in the last section.
Zacky's not too far behind on these CP2s though. Like he still has a chance. He just has to.
Come on, with an improve for
Josh has been a
sure.
little
Maybe
bit-
not. He's
Oh.
probably good the end.
Oh yeah.
The Proga, it's now a name, but I think Josh is about to improve yet again already. Yeah, it's an improve. Oh my
Wow.
God, that is insanely
Yeah.
fast.
That's
That's rank 7.
good. Yeah.
That's 0.02 away from his PR.
Yeah. Josh
Jesus.
he's similar to Levi in that he's one of those people who just does not feel pressure at all. Like he could have the whole world watching him and he just does not get nervous and does not feel pressure at all.
He always performs well. Always.
Yeah.
I've never seen him
Quickly
have a
as
bad
well.
day. Yeah.
But yeah, beating that time for Zacki is going to look like a bit of a monumental task at this.
Still doable though.
This was Josh's pick.
Yeah, it is still doable. He's not out of it. Josh is doing an interesting strat on that curved ramp where you flick up. He's kind of like flicking up into the curve and then like riding it off the bottom, where most players just use the curve to flick upwards.
At CP2, just before CP2.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do you know why they do that? Because they
Why?
watched Batman's task and he does it and it's faster. It's
Yeah.
literally
Batman's
faster.
helps change
yeah.
a lot of routes, though. To be fair,
When
finding
Fish was
what's
going for
better.
WR, he watched Batman's task to see if there's anything noticeably different, and leaving that curve early saves your units.
Those
Josh is
cuts
about
by
to get
Josh is
another
insane.
run. This isn't an improvement.
Don't think it's going to be a
but it's-
PR.
It's still just
Maybe with that
solidifies
end, actually.
his consistency, though.
Josh is looking very dominant on the first map.
Someone asked if Josh has done well in previous tourneys, but I'm not sure other ones he's been in. I know he was in the
He-
KSF one that was like the country tourney.
Yeah, so there was a country one in which USA won. I guess you could say Josh did pretty well. Probably was the carry in that tournament. And then he played in Chuck's tournament, and he got a little unlucky
he?
with the map picks. And it was like 2 years ago. He wasn't at his peak. I think he got first rounded by someone, but he put up a good performance.
Someone asked what TAS is. Shall I explain?
Go for it.
Yes.
Go for it.
So we have a fella in the community called Batman, who he's made a tool which basically he can make the perfect run, like the actual perfect run. So if you go online, youtube.com/ is he just called Batman on YouTube? Someone could probably link his channel.
Yeah, I have no clue what he's
he
called on
uses a tool to get the ideal perfect run. So surfers are using his videos to like learn from there.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
It's not
it.
human
Makes
surf.
sense.
It's like it's unachievable by a human, but you can learn a lot from them, and they're
Yeah,
really
because
satisfying.
most standard actual like task tools, people are recording themselves playing.
Yeah,
and
normal task is like
editing.
it's like a CP lock. Like
Yeah.
someone's just running it over and over. This is literally unachievable by human. Unless...
This is an actual tool that he's made
Yeah.
that, like, he doesn't even serve himself, really.
Yeah.
He like
He's
draws
like
a
a
potential
cardboard
line.
bouncer.
Yeah. It's really
Yeah,
interesting.
traditional
that.
TAS is just using save states and slowdown time, basically. But what Batman does is he just manually edits the inputs to just create a run, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like tassing in other games is more similar to what Batman does.
And why isn't Batman rank 1?
Levi's
1
his
minute
second
Hoarding is
name.
illegal.
So we're into the last minute here. Is Zacki about to finish a run?
It was good up
Improves his
until the end.
PR.
The end's really
Oh.
hard on this map to keep units. Like you see the units Josh has into end. It's all
Yeah.
from like landing the curve ramp, third last ramp, and that's the really hard part.
I mean, the time that Zacki's getting is still about the same as what Proga and Username were getting. It's just he's now against someone that is
Yeah.
just a whole different level.
Zacki coming in with another improve, maybe?
He has time to run another if he resets now.
0.5.
Okay, this is his
Is that-
final run.
Is that an improvement on what he had before?
This is
Oh.
actual final run. He has to pull it out here if he wants to win the round.
So Josh has already failed, so it's all eyes on Zacki.
Even if he doesn't beat Josh on this round, this will boost his confidence going into the next match where
Yeah.
he's just landed, back to back to back runs. Simultaneously improving his time.
Nykan, please go on to Zacki. You're respecting the wrong person. And we'll
He's
see
on the
him
last round.
complete the end. So... well, he's improved by 0.01.
GG's.
GG's.
Yeah.
You guys
Someone's
didn't miss
paychecks
much.
just got lowered. Yep, you did.
Yeah, it is 1-0, not 2.
That round was double points.
Our man is in shambles.
So we'll be going to Zor now as our second map, and this one is going to be a good one, I feel like.
Zor's a really good map because they will probably be going into CP2 with similar times, but the end makes so much of a difference on this map. It's like a huge
Yeah.
blind 180 snipe. And unless you do it perfect, Zacki just wants a minute.
Zacki's
Unless
just
you-
asking for a minute. We'll give
Yeah.
him it.
Unless you do it absolutely perfect, you lose a lot of time. So it's going to be whoever has the balls to like full send the end, basically. But Zacki, does he have or had? Zacki had WR on this map before the map. was
Josh
revealed.
has it by 0-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these two players are rank 1 and 2 on this map, and there is a 50th of a second separating them.
There you go.
Yeah, Zacki's just gonna paint real quick, I guess. Which is, on a map like this, I think he just probably wants to paint.
I don't think we've seen anyone paint so far as well, right?
No.
You're allowed to paint. Everyone gets access to paint, and everyone can take
Yeah.
a minute at the start of a match to paint. So
I don't know what ramp he's gonna paint, and it's honestly a very
Yeah.
respectable choice. Wait,
Do you
No,
wanna?
he's painting
not
where
gonna
the
paint
180
this
is. Yeah, I
Do-
do this too.
Do you want to maybe explain just to anyone that's watching that doesn't paint or anything like that why some top surfers will on maps?
This is
and
just an
stuff?
indication of because this is the 180 snipe that we're talking about. He needs to know where the window is, so he's just painting the back wall to give him like a bit of a rough
A
estimate of
reference
where
point.
to turn, and he will probably paint a spine as well, or this hole. It's just when the textures overlap, sometimes the map's hard to see, so he just needs to see where he's going.
Okay.
But that 180 paint is pretty vital.
alright, we got Zacki ready.
Why is
We got
Zacki's
Padman
screen
ready.
so
We got
yellow?
Josh ready. I think we're gonna get into this one.
no, Josh has not said ready yet.
Zacki got
Alright,
that piss.
We're gonna hold up.
Mum found the piss floor.
why, why is it so yellow?
Alright,
My
Josh is
man's
ready.
playing Surf Simpsons.
Alright.
So So we're going to be getting underway.
Wait, why are we all smiling? Is it because
What's wrong with smiling?
It's just weird to smile about piss.
Did Zacki
Surfers
paint a
aren't
smile or
allowed to be
something?
happy.
Oh wait, he did.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I was just focused on the yellow.
So as you guys can see on your screen now, this map is a relatively new map. It was made in 2018.
Relatively new in terms of
Relatively
mapping.
new.
In terms of mapping standards from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, Surf has been around since like 2004 or something. So yeah, 2018 is a new map. You'd call it new.
Well, when we've seen maps in the tourney so far that were 2009, then you know
Yeah.
something that came out 9 years later is definitely
Yeah, exactly.
newer.
It is. It's worth noting the poll came back even, 50-50.
Ooh.
I mean, there's not much
that's,
between them
That's
at
fair
all.
enough. Yeah, if you look
I
at
mean,
the top.
Yeah, the top is so close together.
Wait, Caff,
So for people wondering why I'm not doing predictions, I do like rewards, I guess, for like top 10s. I'm honestly scared the fact that rewards. People are gonna have so many points to just request heaps of them, so we have
Channel
polls.
point economy would forever be destroyed.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
it's worth noting, Zacki's run compared to Josh's, even though he's ranked 2, his entire run is faster apart from the first CP.
Oh.
Zacki goes plus 08 on CP1 and then goes minus on all of the other CPs. So if he gets a really good CP1 here, he could potentially pull out a really good run.
And this map, it's a tier 1 map, but it is deceivingly difficult to put a good run
Yeah.
down on. It looks quite easy, but
go
yeah,
fast,
there's
it's
just a
hard.
lot of ways you can fail on this map.
Someone in chat asked if we know the age of the surfers. Don't we still have a sheet about info and everything?
Yeah, I got
believe?
you. No, I don't
Oh.
got you, actually. That's a lie.
A
Oh
little
no.
bit of a moon, but it's a decent end from Zacki.
Oh, okay.
See,
Plus
gonna run on the board.
He lost
0.82.
0.4 on that end because of that tiny moon that you had. You see how perfect you have to do this end?
So
Sorry,
that's
moving
rank,
and a little lack of units going
Yeah.
into it.
It's not a forgiving end at all.
that was rank 43 that he just got there then.
So to whoever was asking about age, I don't actually have their ages, but
Zacki's like 20, I think.
yeah, it's Zacki's about
Josh
20.
is 19
Josh
or
like
20.
19 or something, yeah.
So actually,
There's no,
boomers in
like-
terms of the like of surfers, because nowadays you
Yeah.
have to be like 12 to somehow just be the best.
Zoomers
We
are
will
too
have a, I guess you could say, quote unquote, Boomer versus Zoomer match later on. I don't know how old Michaela is, but I know Marble's kind of young.
good. I know that
Oh,
Michaela's been surfing for like.
That is the
Yeah.
oldest versus the youngest
Yeah.
player.
I think we've had that match before as well in the first tournament.
Yeah, Michaela is 25, I believe, and Marble's 15. So there's 9 years between them. What, 10, sorry. Yeah, right.
To be fair,
hello?
Marble,
So what are they teaching over in Australia?
Where-
Well,
where's
explain
mine?
Marble's
myself.
16 in a week.
9.
Marble's 16 in a week, to be fair.
It's because Michaela
okay, Josh
told me
is
he was
just
24.
Josh has just finished a really good
Wait,
run.
that's a solid run.
That's
For,
rank
for a
17.
tourney, that's a solid run.
That's rank 17 just there.
Yeah.
But we know that Zacki's rank 2. He can definitely pull something out.
Zacki's runs are looking good. He's just mooning a little bit on that end section.
Yeah. That's not going to beat Josh.
Plus 46, not bad.
Horrible.
but it's a
That's
good
closer
time.
now.
Yeah.
Josh is on a run again.
I don't think this improves for Josh. It'll be close, though. Oh, it's 0.01. It's an improve.
Damn. So now both players.
Do we know what
or
CP2s
same bracket.
Josh is getting on average? Just so, because the
Uh,
CP2 is the important one.
Plus
0.2.
0.2? Yeah.
Well, Zacki's getting similar CP2s as well, so I think
Yeah.
it's all going to be based on the end.
Yeah, that end that
He's on
Zacki
a decent
painted.
run.
Zacki is on.
Zacki went minus.
Make that,
Oh.
man. He was on a very decent
Yeah.
run. Any Caff remakes of that?
Damn, plugging yourself again. What is his ego doing?
Okay. I just want to speak, you know. Don't want to come off the wrong way.
And he took ook.
Now we're talking.
Okay. I'm gonna go cry. I'll be back.
Oh, he nearly had a good clutch angle there.
Yeah, he was down on units a bit, but that could have been good with the angle.
We're at the 5-minute remaining mark. We've still got Josh in the lead, but Zacki is proving that he can land a run. And as someone pointed out, if Josh does win this one here, that's yet another 2-0 we'll be seeing.
The thing with the
Yeah.
bracket there, you've got to realise, they've all been 2-0s, but it's only the expected ones that have been 2-0s. Like the high seeds versus the low seeds. The Greenvoy
Yeah.
Chromalia match was really close, even though it was a 2-0. The Fish and Noti match
Yeah.
was pretty close as well.
It'll also be once we go into the more like inner brackets that we'll see potential like 2-1s and
Yeah.
such.
There's been close 2-0s and not so close 2-0s, but they were expected from the seeding.
A bit of trivia / background about Zacki. He was kind enough to tell me a bit about himself. He's a man of many talents. He was actually a competitive football player, for those of you in Europe, or soccer if you're in Australia. And he was also a break dancer as well,
I remember
which
that.
I thought was quite interesting.
Yo.
Yeah.
So yeah, next time you see him on the server, ask him to bust a move.
Ask him his PR info on the stanky leg.
Yeah,
He also has a cute dog.
yep, that is true. Is KSF the main server? Someone says.
For Source.
The CSS, Counter-Strike Source, yes, it is.
Zacki on a
If you
really
surf
good run
on-
here. Ooh,
If you serve on CSGO,
Uh-oh.
you've got a few options.
he went for that angle.
There's
Yeah,
a
if you're
little-
competing, sorry, if you're competing to WR standard, KSF is the one. On
Yeah.
CSS at least, yeah.
But for CS:GO, it's probably like Surf
Surf
Heaven.
Heaven would be the most
Yeah,
contested. Yeah.
is the more
But
standard.
the thing with CSGO, different tick rates is very common. So it kind of varies on CSGO. But the actual global WRs are always CSS, KSF.
Yeah.
This is a
hence
really
Zacki
good
why-
on
one
a
from Zacki.
run.
Yeah,
Oh.
he got that angle. And he's cut the end. Okay,
Oh, this is
Oh
good.
my
Oh.
god.
with
Now
2
the
minutes
pressure's
20
back on
left.
Josh.
Yeah, this is getting rough.
It's getting interesting.
Yeah.
But Josh is on a run as well, and this is a really good run from Josh. If he does not choke this
Wait,
end,
that's
this
a
is really
crazy run.
fast. But he's gone way high.
A little bit higher.
Yeah.
And
He's
that end
moved
is
that
not
quite
forgiven at
badly.
all. Even if he landed that, I think that was plus.
Yeah.
I may be a little biased here, but I wouldn't mind seeing a third map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Zacki's got his CP1s back. He was going fairly plus at the beginning of the round. Now he's got them in. And he's been going minus on CP2 quite often. Ooh,
That was a solid
Just
CP2.
barely
That's a
making it through the
shame to
hole.
see that fail.
yeah. That CP there, the lower you go into that cut, the easier the end is. So if he would have made that, he could have had a really good setup for end.
People ask what the third map is. I forget. I've
It
one
was
job and I've
the
forgotten.
it was the one that
It's Inspire, is third
yeah,
map.
that one.
Now I can take
Yeah,
a
the
bit of a
big one.
chuckle at my one job that I'm failing while he continues to just carry the entire stream.
A little bit high from Zacki. Little
Okay,
bit
someone
high.
asked in chat. I don't know. Someone asked in chat. Probably could have just looked, but I don't alt tab because I'm streaming Discord to Tux and
Zacki's put
Merky.
down another solid run. It's not an improve on his time, but it was very close. So Josh is probably aware that he's putting down solid times now.
I think Zacki's getting nervous because his CP1s are going plus again. But he can still go minus on all the other CPs, so he still has a chance. That's a crazy cut from Zacki.
And he's gone minus on
And he-
CP2.
That's insane. This
Oh
should
my
go
God,
This
CP2.
is
this
actually
could-
so good.
No,
That is
that's
such
too
a-
low.
No,
No shot.
do
That was
this.
crazy. That was
That was
actually crazy.
so good.
That would have
And
solidified
now
them.
Josh Josh has
Oh,
potential
no.
here as well. He could
He's got a
snatch
good
it away at the last minute.
Oh no.
No, it's not fast enough though.
Ooh.
Zacki putting on a good showing, so is Josh. I
Mhm.
think it's gonna go into a third map.
Josh isn't on a run, so that's the third map. We'll let Zacki play it
Zacki
out.
is. He's gonna go hit WR real quick.
We'll let Zacki just continue this run. This one's encore for the fans.
Zacki's broken the
Good
Toro
call.
curse.
He's so good at that angle.
Good cut.
Oh,
get
these
in.
angles are crazy.
Oh, a little bit high. But
It never like I've run this map in the past, never thought to like go for I guess the lower units and like
yeah,
so
it's
it
worth
cut.
because you land sooner.
Yeah. Inspire.
Yeah, since custom zones have become a thing, it's been very interesting to see how people learn where to gain time, because often it can be quite hard to know where you're losing time to world record. But we get to see a third map for the first time in the tournament so far. And who thought it would be on the second seeded player versus the 15th seeded player?
Zacki's practiced this map a little, but I don't think
Yeah.
nowhere near as Josh. Josh is ranked 2 on the
He's
map.
definitely the favourite. So we're just waiting on Zacki to ready up. And then we can get underway for our third map.
I think he's taking another breather.
Yeah.
Or
Players can
he's
take a minute.
breakdancing.
All that.
You never know.
Show match it at the end of Zacki putting on a performance for us.
This man loves his paint,
Yeah.
and he does it the good way. Thank God.
Tarx has an aneurysm
Like
when
to,
people don't paint
yeah.
correctly.
Some
He
people
try
just
to
blob
elaborate
the
on what the
spine,
wrong way is.
and it makes me lose my mind. Painting the left side like he did, smiley face in chat, is so much better because you get to see the line.
I don't think I've
of,
ever done that
this
once
one.
in my life.
We got a love heart. Let's get a love heart in chat for Zacki. Okay, we got Zacki readied up. I'll get you to start it, Caff.
Alright.
Why have I been called a paint criminal?
Don't worry, mate. I'm sure I am as well.
What
Caff
defines one?
paints are the worst, actually. For being honest.
Okay. It works, you know. It works.
Can't argue with that.
So, have we spoke about the players' PRs on this map? Because there's
Briefly.
quite a hefty difference.
Josh had WR at one point, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lost it to Levi. Red Sea had this record before the tournament, I believe.
Yeah, he
And then
did.
Josh has beaten it in the tournament, and then Levi has beaten Josh during the tournament.
So now Red Sea is plus 0.25 from what his old WR was.
Zacki seems a little bit rusty on this map. There's a weird air accelerate turn after the B hop. So as he goes from the ramp after the B hop to the next one, the turn into CP1. If you don't do it correctly, I can't really explain how the correct way to do it is. But the way that air accelerate works in this game is if you turn either too fast or with weird falling units, like you will just lose all of your units.
You have to
So
come
if
off
you
the ramp
see-
at a certain height.
Yeah,
And it,
you
like,
have to sort of be
negates
falling
it.
as you go to next. But if you see him losing a lot of units when landing in CP1, that's why. And it's a really hard mechanic.
Yeah.
Zacki just finishing a run there.
It's interesting because most people aren't even aware of the air accelerate
Yeah.
mechanic. Like I know I wasn't for a long time. Yeah. So even people who are experienced at surf might not know this, but the way it works is that if you're rising between 0 and 140 units per second, your air accelerate is divided by 3, I believe, or 4. It's one of those two. Yeah.
Absolutely nuke your units on a corner.
Yeah, so if you try and turn while you're very slowly ascending, you will just get owned on units, basically. You'll just lose all your speed. So you want to try and avoid having to turn while going upwards slowly, basically.
Funny.
Josh is going
Source
to finish
mechanic.
a run here.
8-2.
Decent run.
It's not really a thing that momentum can fix, it's the way that the engine works, I think.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind it staying, because
Yeah, I feel like it's a good
adds a
mechanic
really
to
big
have.
skill cap.
Yeah.
It like, you notice the difference between 100 tick runs and 66, because on 100 tick they can turn corners with ease and actually gain units on harsh corners.
Isn't that also because of like higher air excel?
Yeah, but if they're
and
dividing theirs by
like-
3 because of the falling, it's
Oh,
still going to be
right.
higher than
Still
66
Yeah.
like 3,
because they use 1000 OXL.
50. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have 333 instead of 150, which is what we have by default.
It is crazy the little nuances you can find when looking into like smaller parts
nonsense.
of this. You know what you were doing there. The nuances that you can find when looking into like parts of the Source engine like this that like can
Yeah.
really separate the top players if they know it or not. Because like the tricks that you know with Maxwell, for example, like
Yeah,
where there's
there's-
just certain things that
really
no one
like
would know.
weird tricks in the game.
Josh on another run.
Yeah, he's about to finish a good
A
one.
pretty decent end. Should be
4-1.
like plus 0.5.
That is a really good time.
Plus 41.
Yeah.
God
That
damn.
is rank 8 on the map.
So it seems like the trick at the end is to not heck hit super hard on the not the first heck hit, but the second one. I guess you kind of just scrape your head along and try and land as far forward on that ramp as you can.
We've been asked if the RXL thing's in CSS or CSGO. It's
In
only really
both.
noticeable if your RXL's 150-ish. If it's like 1000, you won't notice it. But if you want to check, you just go in console and type SV_RAccelerate, and whatever default value comes up is whatever the server's using. So if it's low, then yeah, you should be careful about corners. But if it's
You would-
high, don't worry about it.
You would notice it on Surf Heaven then, right?
Yeah, Surf Heaven, you would definitely notice it.
Okay.
If anything,
And
you'd
crap
notice it
track.
more because it's lower tick.
Oh, true.
I
Crouching
can
also
put in a
advised,
wengy
yeah.
face.
Yeah, that's why you avoid crouch at all costs, and that's a problem that a lot of people have when coming from CS:GO to Source. Like if they've been someone that's played on a higher tick server, they will try and hold crouch when doing turns or spins and that, and they'll just go, "Oh, okay, I've just lost all my units.
Yep.
It's just gone into the void."
TF2 as well, because in TF2 you don't. There's no
You just
penalty
crouch.
for crouching.
There's no
So
crouch
everyone just
punishment, yeah.
And
That's
there's been
actually
TF2
huge.
players who come to Surf and go, or come to Counter-Strike Source Surf and will be like, the servers are broken. Why am I losing all my speed?
Yeah.
Because they're just unaware.
Crouching's a mechanic that I'd say if you're relatively new, just don't do it. Because the only way that crouching's ever affected it is if you really know what you're doing. It's
think some
more
people
punishing than it is
unbind it.
helpful. Yeah, like, it's definitely way more punishing than it is helpful. Because by holding crouch, you can lose 500 units, but by using crouch effectively, you save like 7. So it's safe to just not
Yeah.
lose it.
People kind of just get
Crouch
into like the habit, I guess, and it becomes comfortable. That's the reason I do it more importantly. Just like it's comfortable to board ramps crouched, I guess.
But if you don't successfully uncrouch a ramp, then you'll be stuck crouched on it, and then you can't flick
Yeah.
off it, basically.
Someone's asking about the tech with the first B hop. Is that simply just not
It's-
hitting the wall when you?
It's sort of like a skill cap where you just have to learn the movement of it. You swing one way and then swing the other, because the more like horizontal units you have into the B hop, the more you leave with. So they're trying to swing the most they can without hitting any walls and
Yeah, 'cause
without
if you
turning too
go-
fast.
If you go straight down, you just kill all your
Yeah.
momentum when you hit the B hop. But if you strafe out, then you've now gonna keep that.
Yeah,
when
you want to be as sideways as you can when you be hopping.
And what you'll notice them doing as well is they will flick to the left and then be all turning right by the time they hit the B hop.
Yeah.
You don't want to like be still turning left when you're hitting the B hop.
You generally don't want to land ramps crouched now, unless it's a ramp you're not flicking off. If you're about to flick off the ramp that you're crouching onto, you will lose a ton of units. But if you're just going to drop off that next ramp, it's fine.
But for example, the first ramp on this map, you could just hold crouch on that ramp going down into the tunnel.
Yeah.
As long as you let go before, because if you hold crouch onto the big of the tunnel, I think you pay for it when you go to B hop.
Yeah.
But for the first ramp, you should be fine.
Yeah. John Nathaniel also says is 801 cents too high. 801, I would say, is the default sense. You can do
That is like
anything on 801.
I reckon the vast majority that would be the most common sensitivity used by
I
surfers.
started on 801 and then I sort of moved,
yeah,
adjusting to what I liked. But
I think
801
I
is
was
really
the
good.
same as well. I've just gone down by 0.1 a few times.
I just keep dropping,
Yeah.
and it's kind of getting to the point where I'm going a bit too low.
Yeah.
I mean, we also have we had Green Void playing who uses 1.8.
Yeah, I mean, Pabs, for example, Pabs was one of the top surfers when he played, and he was using like 2.8.
The picture of Fabs' setup is still the funniest thing I've ever seen. He has one of those tiny little mouse pads where like the mouse takes up probably 75% of the space of it. And he was getting WRs on that. So after seeing that, I know that any sense is possible.
Sense isn't like a buff or a nerf. It's just whatever you are comfortable with is the best. Just don't drop your sense super low because all of the pros do it. Like,
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with high, stay high. Just do whatever you're accurate with.
100%. There's like a fair amount of people that like ask like what the correct sense is for surfing. It's just whatever you're comfortable with, like Tuck said. Don't like commit to the lower sense because Levi uses it. It's whatever's comfortable for you.
Yeah, don't think you're going to be good just because you use low sense either.
Yeah.
And there's also
I
like,
see people
there's
do
more
that.
that comes into it, like turn binds as well.
Whoever asked, there's the picture. That's what he was setting like insane world records on.
Yeah, he played on like a coffee table and one of those mouse pads that they give away at expos for free, like the little plastic ones. So you don't need the good gear either to perform, as Levi used to.
Oh, there he is in chat.
I've single-handedly proved that sex doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I'm glad he found it funny.
He pulled it up.
Oh my god, it's on screen. That was Fabs' setup, to the people asking, who joined CSS and set a lot of very high quality records. So honestly, if you're asking about sends, like, it doesn't matter what you use as long as you get comfortable with it.
We're not talking about like tech maps that he was taking. He was out uniting people with that sense.
And out Fortniting people.
Zacki on a decent run. Oh, he scuffed the
Man's
end.
kind of a big deal in the Fortnite competitive scene. Oh.
Yeah, he could have had a good end there and he scuffed it.
That is unfortunate.
Well played to Zacki,
Yeah.
getting into overtime against potential winner.
Yep.
Hey, that's our first 2-1.
Our first third, a match going to a third map.
Yeah.
Like those.